So you're looking for the contact between the quartz. Typically down here, we want to see the contact between, the quartz and the sediment. So that's what I'm looking for right now.
Shiny stuff from my desk. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of SFLive Onsite. We're here in beautiful Nova Scotia. Today I'm visiting the Aurelius Minerals Aureus Gold project, aimed at exploring and redeveloping the old Dufferin gold mine. This mine was previously operated in 2015 until the previous operator ran out of money and went into receivership. We're going to go underground. We're going to look at the hinges underground. Hopefully see some VG in the core on the ground as well. And then we're going to look at the core shack. We're going to talk to the VP Exploration, Jeremy Nemi, as well. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be interesting, and stay tuned for more. Today, Mark Ashcroft, CEO of Aurelius Minerals, is giving me the grand tour. Mark is a mining engineer who's been involved in the global mining and financial industry since 1990.
Yeah, I did my best to bring the sun out for us today. We're just at the Fairwinds Motel and Restaurant grabbing some McRalph sandwiches for the road. And I'm going to take you underground. So we're going to go down to the 880 level and we're going to have a look at the diamond drills there. We're going to have a look at the surface drills of Major. And then we'll visit the mill. So we'll visit our 300 ton per day mill. We'll have a look at the infrastructure, and then we'll have a look at some drill core. You promised me to find some VG underground, right? I need a nice rock sample. I delivered your son.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do for some visible gold.
Great. The famous McRalph sandwich from Mount Water.
I told you.
I'll come back just for this.
I told you. A little bit of pea meal, cheddar, fried egg on an English muffin. Quality. Fairwinds Motel and Restaurant.
Oh yeah, best part of the site visit so far.
I can't disagree.
So I just arrived here at the Aureus East Gold project. You can hear it in the background, the drill is turning right over there, but we're standing in front of the core shack. Right off the bat, one of the most interesting aspects of this project is the presence of a fully permitted, near-working mill.
So we are unique as an advanced stage exploration story because of the infrastructure we have in place. We have a 300 ton per day mill that was built with production in mind. We've got all the facilities here to move forward in production. And of course, remember, we have a mining lease, a mining permit. I mean, we're very further advanced than most from a permitting perspective because of that. So if you wanted to, you could flick on the switch tomorrow, theoretically, and run feed through it. Combined with theoretically, if we had when we have the resource and we comply with our approvals, and that's the key part, we have to comply with approvals, then we can move forward for sure.
To get an idea of what the community's views on mining are, I decided to talk to General Manager Billy Grace, a local boy who'd grown up in Nova Scotia.
The real local people right here in the Port Dufferin community, just a few kilometers down the road, they really see the benefit of the jobs. They have fathers, brothers, sisters, mothers that work here at the mine site and had really good paying jobs that aren't available anywhere else in the local region. So we get a lot of support from those people. There's always the people that don't want mining. I think a lot of people still think there's a huge environmental impact from mining and that companies won't clean up after themselves because there's a bit of a legacy of that in Nova Scotia. But there's lots of legislation in place now to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. And companies like us that are trying to be responsible, we're making sure that we put the effort in up front, make sure we get a good resource before we start mining, and have a good mine plan that's going to have a sustainable mine life and support generations here in the local community.
It's clear that the management at Aurelius is putting an emphasis on safe, sustainable mining practices. In fact, Mark showed me a site where the company had previously been drilling and how it was restored.
So this is a rehabilitated drill pad.
Okay.
So you can, we would have cleared this. And then those are
the collars there?
Yeah, those are the collars. Those are the drill steels. And then this is all grown in. So this would have been now maybe 10 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and so this material will desiccate and just become soil, and the rest of this will just grow up and around it. And this was pad 1 of Aureus West. Those were the first holes going into the ground of Aureus West. So we got hole 1, 2, and 3 over there. So
after inspecting the drill collars and reclamation work completed by the company, I went to speak with VP Exploration Jeremy Nemi about what exactly the company is targeting.
So this is some fresh core from our underground rig. So this is one of the infill holes that we're doing, and it's drilled from collar about 160 meters below surface. So portal is just over here, and we're basically almost standing on top of where the rig would be. So we have a whole series of stacked veins, and you can see actually the stacking here. So we're going through the sequence, through the fold nose. We're pretty close to the anticline here. So you can see a series of veins. Something that we really like is the amount of sulfides that we're seeing with the quartz veins. And also this dark black material, this argillite in between the veins. Most of this will likely run, and that's a big important part of what we're doing differently. So we're sampling, we're going beyond just the quartz veins and into the wall rock, and yeah, we're really liking what we're seeing here.
Multiple previous operators struggled at this site, but learning from others' expensive mistakes seems to be a common theme in mining. It's usually the third operator that makes a mine profitable, and I wanted to see Mark's take on this.
The prior operators hadn't spent enough time on the geology, hadn't spent enough time on understanding what they were trying to extract, and we're just trying to rush through and say we're just going to mine, and that was the mistake. You hit the nail on the head. We need to establish that resource, which we've been doing. Almost 20,000 meters of our own drilling done in this phase 1 and 2 program, aiming for that resource in Q1 2022.
Great, let's go underground. Well, we're heading underground now, and going to look at the underground drill site, going to look at the limbs and the hinge zone, of course, as well. We're going to look at some mineralization underground. Hope to find some VG there. I need a rock sample. The first thing Mark wanted to show me was the exposed hinge zone and a limb that runs right off. Anything? So Mark, we're standing here on the 920 level. What are we standing in front of? This looks like a limb that comes off the hinge.
I'm gonna make a geologist of you yet, Kai, but yeah, this is the limb. That's actually projecting off of the hinge that's up in the top of the drift here. But you know, people talk to me and they say, Mark, you know, these limbs are thin, and they are when you look at them, you know, in the vertical extent. They're thinner than the hinges. But you know, 0.7 meters up the full length of a 4 meter high drift. That's your opportunity to build the volume here and the tonnage, because this extends, you know, 100 meters. That's what we're seeing in our drilling. So these limbs are much more extensive than when we previously thought. So that's our opportunity.
Aurelius had great success chasing down these limbs at depth, and I gotta say, seeing it in person really puts into perspective how massive this formation is. Try to find a piece with a bit of contact in it, because I learned today that's where the gold gets deposited, is in the contact zone. So that's why I'm taking a look at this here. It looks way bigger in person than it does on a PowerPoint slide.
Yeah, you know what it is. I mean, I'm 6 foot. You know, I'm 6 foot, and that, you know, you can really see we're up on an elevated level here. You know, by the time you're done, there's a good bit of space going up to there. So yeah, there's a real opportunity here.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right, Kai, we're going to take you down to the 880 level where we have the underground drill rig of Major Drilling actually penetrating into the mineralized zone, going for the hinges.
We proceeded further into the mine to inspect the current underground drilling. Watching a drill in operation is always a good time. It's very cinematic, but you can also see how serious a company is about environmental impacts. Major Drilling is one of the best operators around, and it's obvious here. The site is being professionally run in an organized and disciplined way. After dropping off some donuts and chatting with the drillers, Mark and Billy brought me further down the mine in my hunt for some visible gold.
You want to test to see conditions of the rocks, and if you identify a loose piece, use the pry side of the scaling bar to bring that material down. And what we're doing here is we're going to see if we can find some visible gold for Kai. So literally, we're just going to break up, because this is literally the limb and that sediment. Yeah, use it. There you go.
There we go.
All right.
Get you one, Daniel. I went to school for this.
All right.
That should be plenty.
Let's see what we can find.
It's competent but brittle, eh?
Did I just take it off with my finger? Shit. I might have. Sorry, man.
I think that one's worth taking up to the geologist. I I think we should go see what the geologists have to say about that one. You gonna hold on to that?
Of course I'm going to hold on to that.
Typically down here, we want to see the contact between, the quartz and the sediment.
Samples in hand, we headed back to the core shack to have Jeremy Nemi and his crew of geologists take a look at my rocks. Well, visible gold. We'll see. We'll find out. Let's talk to the experts. Find me the gold. All right, I'll give you 5 more tries. Try this one.
Yeah, this is typically where you'll see the higher grade stuff. Without a doubt, gold's one of the elements that when you see it, you'll know, and you'll never second guess yourself. So my quick rule of thumb is, when it comes to gold, if I'm second guessing myself, most likely it's not gold.
Yeah.
It's a diamond in the rough type of example that when you see it, it'll shine through, even dirty rock, anything. So for example, I'm gonna grab some drill core right here.
That is very recognizable.
Instantly. Yeah.
I don't think we have any of that sort in there.
No, unfortunately, that's the finder's luck sometimes. One thing that's unique about this type of gold is it's unusually pure. So there are other mines, say in Western Canada, and this is more of a fun fact, but some mines in Western Canada where they have a lot of gold, but the gold grade is, say, 14 to 16 carat. This stuff here, in particular, is probably anywhere between 20 to 23 carat. This particular gold here is pure.
I rounded off my trip by finding out what Mark's next steps for the project are.
So we have assays in the lab. Next up should be hopefully some underground returns. We have seen it's been stop and start with the assay labs. You get stuff out of order, so it's tough to be able to put the picture together, and that's where we're at now. We're not a single hole sort of story where you can release it. Now you've got to bring the picture together, explain these hinges, these limbs, and how that all ties together into a larger, more significantly mineralized system, which I think we're doing. I'm a 6th generation miner on my dad's side, and this is what we love. We're trying to do things as responsible corporate citizens. We utilize water recycling systems to minimize the impact of the water that we draw. We recover our drill pads. We have a great relationship with the local community, and eventually I think that message will get out as long as we continue to keep doing the good work that we are. We really do enjoy being here. The professionals that are available are second to none. The quality of the service providers is great. Mechanics, it's a really good place to operate, and you can do it year round. Weather may not be cooperating all the time, but
It's changing right now, and I'm getting a bit cold, so let's wrap this up, all right?
perfect.
So we're just back at the hotel here, but I wanted to recap real quick what we saw and experienced the last 24 hours. We got to spend a lot of time with the management team, especially CO Mark Ashcroft, who we rode in the car with up to the project, about 2 hours away here from Halifax. We got to meet the VP Exploration, Jeremy Nemi. We hung out with the General Manager, Billy Grace. Ex-Newmont, fantastic people. They know what they're doing, they know what they're working on. Lots of drilling happening on site. We got to visit the mill, we got to see the mineralization firsthand, and it looks like they're expanding the footprint of the mineralization as well. So lots of drill results pending. This story is developing, it's happening. They have their 300 ton per day mill, they need to feed it, they want to do it properly. This is a story as a resource investor you should not miss.
Moves around in a semicircular motion and grind. Any silver associated with the gold, believe it or not.
Glasses are driving me insane. Too close? Okay.
Kissy.
Just follow us on Twitter. He's gonna put it in. Okay.
Sorry, f***ing rookie there.
Really? Ah!